Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you are always fine. I'm Ira Cahya, and this time I will review the story of the novel, and the title is Persuasion by Jane Austen, and happy listening to all. The story begins 7 years after the broken engagement of Anne Elliot to Captain Frederick Wentworth, having just turned 19 years old. Anne fell in love and had accepted a proposal of marriage from Wentworth, then a young and ambitious naval officer. Wentworth was considered clever, confident, and ambitious, but his low social status made Anne's friends and family view him as an unsuitable partner for Anne. Anne's father, Sir Walter Elliot, and her older sister Elizabeth maintained that Wentworth was no match for a woman of College Hall, the family estate. Furthermore, Lady Russell, a distant relative whom Anne considered to be a second mother to her after her own died, also saw the relationship as imprudent for one so young and persuaded Anne to break off the engagement. Sir Walter, Elizabeth, and Lady Russell are the only family members who knew about the short engagement, as Anne's younger sister Mary was away at school. Why is the novel called Persuasion? Yeah, the title in our modern sense immediately puts Anne Elliot at a disadvantage, spotlighting and mistake committed years earlier. As a young woman of 19, Anne allowed herself to be persuaded not to marry the man she loved. She now has to deal with the consequences. Several years later, the Elliot family is in financial trouble on account of their lavish spending, so they lease out College Hall and decide to settle in a cheaper home in Bath until their finances improve. Sir Walter, Elizabeth, and Elizabeth's new companion, Mr. Clay, look forward to the move. Anne is less sure she will enjoy for living in Bath, but cannot go against her family. Mary is now married to Charles Musgrave of Uppercross Hall to heir to a respected local school. Anne visits Mary and her family, where she is well loved, and as the war against France is over. The new tenants of College Hall, Admiral Croft and his wife Sophia, his Frederick's sister, have returned home. Captain Wentworth, though wealthy and famous for his service in the war, visits his sister and meets Uppercross family where he crosses paths with Anne. The Musgraves, including Mary, Charles, and Charles' sister, is Henrietta and Louisa. Welcome the Crofts and Captain Wentworth, who makes it known that he is ready to marry. Henrietta is engaged to her cousin Clairement Charles Hatter, who is absent when Wentworth is introduced to their social circle. Both the Crofts and Musgrave enjoy speculating about which sister Captain Wentworth might marry. Once Hatter returns, Henrietta turns her affection to him again. Anne still loves Wentworth, so each meeting with him requires preparation for her own strong emotion. She overhears a conversation in which Louisa tells Wentworth that Charles Musgrave is proposing to Anne, who turned him down. This now startles Wentworth, and Anne realizes that he has not yet forgiven her for letting herself be persuaded to end their engagement in school. Anne and the young adults of the Uppercross family accompany Captain Wentworth on a visit to see two of his fellow officers, Captain Harville and Benwick, in the coastal town of Ruiz. Captain Benwick is mourning over the death of his fiancée, Captain Harville's sister, and he appreciates Anne's sympathy and understanding, helped by their mutual admiration for the romantic bonds. Anne attracts the attention of Mr. William Elliot, cousin and wealthy widower who is heir to College Hall, despite having broken ties with her father's years earlier. On the last morning of the visit, the youthful Louisa sustains a serious confusion at the seawall while under Captain Wentworth's supervision. Anna coolly organizes the other to summon assistance. Wentworth is impressed with Anna's quick thinking and cool-headedness, but feels guilty about his action with Louisa, causing him to re-examine his feeling for Anna Louisa due to her delicate condition. Is forced to recover at the Harvard's home in Lim for months. Captain Benwick, who was a guest as well, helps in Louisa's recovery by attending and reading to her. Following Louisa's accidents, Anne joins her father and sister in bed with Lady Rosal while Louisa and her parents stay at the Harvard's in Lim Bridges for her recovery. Captain Wentworth visits his older brother Edward in Shropshire and finds that her father and sister are flattered by the attention of their cousin William Allen. Thinking that if he marries Elizabeth, the family fortunes will be restored. William flatters Anne and offhandedly mentions that he was vaccinated, with the name of his future wife already being an Allen, who would rightfully take over for her late mother, although Anne wants to like William. The attention and his manners she finds his character unaware and difficult to judge. Admiral Croft and his wife arrive in Bath with the news that Louisa is engaged to Captain Benwick. Wentworth travels to Bath, where his jealousy is piqued by seeing William trying to court Anne. Captain Wentworth and Anne renew their acquaintance. Anne visits Mr. Smith, an old school friend, who is now a widow living in Bath under strange circumstances. For her, Anne discovers that beneath William's charming figure is a cold, calculating opportunity to eat Mr. Smith's late husband into them as executor to her husband's will. William has done nothing to improve Mr. Smith's situation, although Mr. Smith believes that William is genuinely attracted to Anne. He feels that his primary aim to prevent Mr. Clive from marrying Sir Walter, as he knew marriage might mean a new son, displeasing him as heir to College Hall. The Musgrave visits Bath to purchase wedding clothes for Louisa and Henrietta, both soon to marry, and Captain Wentworth and Harville encounter them and Anne at the Musgraves' hotel in Bath, wherein Wentworth overhears Anne and Harville discussing the relative faithfulness of man and woman in love. Deeply moved by what Anne says about women not giving up their feelings of love even when all hope is lost, Wentworth writes her a note declaring his feeling for her. Outside the hotel, Anne and Wentworth reconcile, affirm their love each other, and renew their engagement. William leaves Bath. Mr. Clive soon follows him and becomes his mistress, making it more likely that he will inherit College Hall. Lady Rosal admits she was wrong about Wentworth and befriends the new couple. Once Anne and Wentworth have married, Wentworth helps Mr. Smith recover the remaining assets that William had kept from her. Anne settles into her new life as the wife of Navy Captain. It is like soap opera. Yes, I think. Fortunately, Anne doesn't get bored or brings feelings of drama. To good drama, in my opinion, when Captain Wentworth gesture was even closer to one of Mary's in-laws, and remained steadfast. The quackity and unstoppable, Louisa got into a ridiculous accident. Instead, Anna took care of her. Okay, the last of my review is my favorite book. My favorite quote of the book is surprisingly not centered on the protagonist and her love story, but an observation of her friend Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith, a widowed, physically weak woman with no child, was in very childless situation, but managed to remain cheerful. Anna observed this was not a case of fortitude or resignation only. A submissive spirit might be patient, a strong understanding, more worldly resolution. But her was something more. Here was that elasticity of mind, that disposition to be comforted, that power of turning readily from evil to God, and of finding employment which carried her out of herself, which was from nature alone. And with the same spirit, that was how Anna endured in her life, waiting patiently with her good spirits and virtues until happiness finally returned, and so deservedly so. Okay, friends, how are you all with this story? Interested in reading the novel, or do you want to wait for the film to be released this month on July? The film will star the famous Hollywood actress is Dakota Johnson. And thank you all for listening to my review. Sorry if the delivery is lacking. I will try to study again. I hope I can review the novels again and at another time. Goodbye and see you.